Shalom and good to see you all. This is the Healing29 back again for some DC comic reviews. And as you can see here, I have Justice League issue 16 and the last issue of Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong volume 2 issue 7. I'll now get things ready and organized for the first one I'll be reviewing. So, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, the middle and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we are still following the characters that were once 10 that's now dropped, and with these characters, seeing that they've only got sort of like limited time, and not knowing their outcome. As the story advances, we get to see quite a lot more as to what is happening. We see what's happening with Owlwoman too. And last but not least, towards the end. So in this one, it is no longer the terrific 10, as they have lost a couple of members in this particular issue, but for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story rating. Considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any comic book references to any of the previous issues? No, we didn't. Next is the area of times, which we didn't get that at all. And because of those things were lacking, some points have actually been lost. Next, we have the cast of characters. The locations, which we have Oak City and also the Watchtower. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Justice League, the Terrific 10, of course, and of course we do get to see Airwave once again. My overall rating for this story is a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into one that I actually quite enjoyed a little bit more than this, which is the Justice League versus Godzilla Kong. So, as we move into this next review of the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, Volume 2, Issue 7, and the final issue for this particular run, or this story arc. So first things first, in relation to the cover, what we see here is also what we get. So for the cover rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, the middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we do get to catch up once again with the character of Batman and all the members that make up the Justice League that are in this story. We do, of course, still get to see what is happening with Kong, along with other characters that make up this particular storyline. As the story advances, we see that Godzilla also gets the help of Mothra. And if it's one thing that I was not able to do was recognize who the rest of the kaiju characters were. Some I sort of knew, others I didn't. And last but not least, towards the end, for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10, as this was actually quite an enjoyable story. Next is the area of the story rating. First things first, did we get anything comic book reference wise? Maybe something that might have reflected back on the first volume, not so much. Next is the area of time, again not covered once again, though in previous issues they have covered it. Would have been nice if they kept consistency with that. Next is the location, to which we have Peru, as well as an Aunt Saint Zagent. Weird name for a place, but it's up towards the end of the story. Next is the cast of characters, to which we had, of course, the main Justice League heroes that made an appearance. We had, of course, some of the DC villains. We, of course, had Godzilla, Mothra, Kong, and Ghidorah, which I could recognize out of the kaiju. My overall rating for this story is a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colorful and have yourself an awesome day.